Hey, I'm Chris Cooper from Two Brain Business, and our gyms are client centric businesses. They're at the center of everything we do. We exist to help people get healthy and fit. To really help them, we need to hear them. We need to listen to what they need from us to achieve their goals. And the problem is that sometimes it's hard to separate the signal from the noise because clients are giving us feedback that maybe isn't helpful and might actually hurt us. And this is because clients only have experience as a consumer, not as a business owner, but that doesn't always stop them from giving us business advice. Clients sometimes think they know what they need from their coach, but they often don't actually know what they need, and they might be giving us the wrong feedback. And sometimes clients just want to be heard. And so they'll amplify their complaints, or they'll say something like, Chris, everybody is complaining about the programming. I'm sure you've heard that before too. 80% of the time, that the feedback that you get from the clients is noise. It can be unhelpful, and sometimes it's even wrong. But the problem is that 20% of the time, it's very, very good, and it's important, and we need to hear it. But it's hard to tell which is which. The answer is to seek feedback from only your best clients. And today I'm going to tell you the difference between two different groups of clients, the Eagles and the Canaries. Let's start with the Eagles. The best clients in your gym are the Eagles. They're calm and quiet. They don't offer you advice usually unless you ask them. They usually have context over business, and they offer feedback that's insightful and constructive. Many of your Eagle clients will actually own their own business or be entrepreneurs or CEOs. Eagles are the clients who stay the longest, who refer others just like them, and they embody the culture that you're trying to build. On the other hand, there are Canaries in your gym. Now, Canaries make a lot of noise, but their feedback is often misleading or unhelpful or even harmful to our business. They might complain about the class times or the pricing or little changes, not because those things are actually a problem, but because they enjoy being heard. They'll say, everybody's complaining about the price change, when in reality, it's just them and maybe one other person. Canaries fixate on negatives and rarely offer solutions that will really help you. And worse, following their advice can actually lead you astray, right? It forces you to cater to this vocal minority instead of staying true to your mission. And if you let Canaries dictate your mission or your method or your model, then you'll end up trying to please everyone and ultimately please nobody. The problem is that if you listen to the Canaries too much, it pushes the Eagles out of your gym because they say, oh, this place isn't really for me. Or maybe the Eagles are too embarrassed to bring their friends because it's like, well, I can put up with the mess or the noise, or my friends wouldn't. So I want you to get the feedback that actually grows your gym. And today I'm going to give you an exercise to do that. So instead of doing surveys, which just adds to the noise in your head and gives the Canaries a place to sound off, I want you to focus on your Eagles and let the Canaries' advice go. That means identifying your best clients, the ones who bring the most value to your gym, are the easiest to work with and align with your vision, and doubling down on serving them. So I'm going to give you an exercise right now. We're going to walk through it together. If you want to get a copy of this, you can just go to gymownersunited.com. You'll find it there, and I can guide you through this. You can also just draw it on a blank piece of paper right now if you've got a pen. Okay, so here we go. I've got this really cool little chart from my media team here at Two Brain. Love them. You can make this yourself on a piece of paper with just a vertical line if you want to. I'm going to walk through this example with you. What I want you to do here is first notice that I've got a smiley face up here and I've got a dollar sign over here. Okay, this is how we're going to identify the Eagles in your gym. The first thing that I want you to do is look under the happy face. I want you to write the name of 5, 6, 7, 8 clients who improve your mood when they walk into the gym. So these are the people who show up with batteries included. Their energy spills over to you. These are not just the people that you like. They're the spark plugs that fill everybody around them with positive energy. They're probably the people who wind up bringing their spouse and their friends and their kids to the gym too. You might only have 2 or 3 of them. That's okay. Let's write a few names down here. So we've got Betty, we've got Mark, we've got Imran, we've got Ashlyn, we got Mike, we got Josephine. Okay. If any one of those people walks into my noon group, it's going to be a good noon group. We're going to have a party. It's going to feel good. My energy level as the coach goes up, and so does everybody in the room. Now let's talk about the people who pay us the most money. So we're going to come over here to the dollar sign. And if you want to, just like, open up your payment processor and list them, sort them in order. So let's say here that we've got Jill, we've got her family. Mark is actually her husband. We've got David, we've got Connor, and it looks like we've got Ashlyn also. Cool. Okay, so we've got a list of like the top 5, 6 people here who pay us the most money. And of course, we could keep going down that list if we wanted to. Okay. Extend all the way through your client list if you want to. But if you only put like the top 5 to 8 here, you're going to really start to notice something. And I'm going to make this like big and bold. What I want you to do here is identify your eagle clients. And the eagle clients are the people who give you energy and also pay you the most money. These are the people that you want to replicate. You want to attract more eagles. The problem is that eagles are kind of turned off by too many canaries in the nest. And so let's first identify who they are. Look at these 2 lists. Okay. Now identify the people who appear on both lists. Well, here's Mark. He's definitely an eagle. Here's Ashlyn. She's on both lists. Looks like that might be it. Okay. So we've got Mark and Ashlyn are our 2 eagle clients. Now, what we want to do is talk to these people together. So we're going to invite these people one-on-one for coffee. And, hey, do you have 15 minutes? Can we meet in the cafe? Now, sometimes if you're not like personal friends outside the gym with these people, it can feel awkward, but you don't have to answer any other questions other than that. I'll walk you through a scenario that I did with 2 of my eagle clients a couple of weeks ago. So first, I sent them both a text, their husband and wife, and I said, hey, do you guys have time any morning to grab a coffee? And they were like, yeah, Tuesday, 10 a.m. Okay, so we plan to meet up at the cafe. Luckily, the cafe is in this building, which is right next to my gym. And they show up, and first she shows up, and hey, how's it going? We make small talk. He shows up 5 minutes late. How's it going? We make small talk. And then I go through these questions that I'm going to give to you. Now I make them feel natural, right? Like I kind of just roll them into the conversation. I'm not reading from my iPad here. I'm going to share these questions with you in a moment. But I am making notes in my brain. You could maybe record this on your phone, but that feels weird too. And it should just feel like a conversation. So first, you're going to say, guys, just love having you at the gym. And man, it would be a dream come true if my whole gym was full of people just like you. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions so that it can help me kind of like cater what we're doing toward you and the people just like you? Yeah. Okay. So you start off with these questions. I'm going to just quickly share these questions with you. So here are the questions that I'm going to ask these people. You can ask some of your eagle clients too. You're going to make a couple of notes. And again, you're going to keep this page nearby, but you're not going to read from it verbatim. You might have a blank notebook in front of you if you want to. You might even just say, oh man, the stuff you guys are telling me is really good. Like here's a napkin. I'm going to take some notes. Do you mind if I take notes? These are the questions you want to ask them. And I can give you these questions in gymownersunited.com. That's it. Okay. So here's what we say to these clients. So first question, what brought you to my gym in the first place? What was it that attracted you? And what we're asking here really is like, what marketing should I be doing more of? What was the thing that brought you in? We saw your sign. My sign's important. Let's get a sign that lights up. I saw a Facebook ad. Oh, those are important. Let's double our ad spend. I was referred by another client. I really need to focus more on referrals, etc. Second question, what else did you try before you found my gym? Because there's a good chance that like people landed at your gym and stuck, but it's not the first thing that they ever tried. They didn't just wake up one day, say, I'm overweight, I need to join Catalyst. Like, what was it? And so that first question, what brought you to my gym? That might actually share some light too. So, well, it was really the only personal training gym. It was close to where I work. Okay, that's going to give you a ton of tips for your marketing. But that second question, what else did you try? That's also going to tell you like what kind of messaging should you be putting in your media? Well, we tried this diet, we tried that diet, we joined a gym, but we didn't know what to do. So we just floundered around for a year. We tried, this thing, CrossFit didn't work. We tried jujitsu. That was no good. We didn't like it. We tried an online trainer, but we couldn't stick to it. Like any of that feedback is important. And you're going to put that into your media and your marketing too. Third question, what should I do if I want more people in my gym just like you? And this is where you really get blunt and you say, like, look, I want to fill my gym with people like you. Now, I'll tell you guys a story here. I once asked this question to a woman named Anne, who I absolutely loved and cherished as a client. And I said, Anne, I would love to have 10 of you in my gym. And she said, honestly, Chris, I don't think you're going to get there. And I said, well, why? Why is that? And she's like, I wouldn't bring my friends here. And then she kind of did this, like she was embarrassed to give me that feedback, right? And I said, no, I really want to know. And she's like, well, Chris, like you're close to where I work. And so I come here and I like you, obviously. But like I find myself, I kind of have to put up with the noise when I get here. It's loud and it's kind of dirty in the bathroom sometimes. And, honestly, like the gym doesn't always smell good. And like I could put up with that, but I know my friends won't. What she's really telling me is like she's embarrassed to invite her friends to come to my gym because of all those things. They might kind of be like, Anne, what is this place you're going to? She's really helping me. And it was hard for me not to get defensive, hard not to be offended, but I knew that what she was telling me was so important that literally as I looked out the front window, one of my powerlifting buddies was pulling in. Here's a guy, cool guy, big, sweaty, stinky. He's going to be at the gym for 3 hours. He's going to want to blast like old school 80s metal. And like, that's not going to attract my friend Anne, to do more. In fact, if Anne's friend showed up and this guy was working out in the gym, they might just leave. And so I said, Anne, here's how important your advice is to me. I left her walking on the treadmill. I walked outside. I put my hand on the hood of this guy's truck and I said, hey, man, we're not doing open gym anymore. Sorry, I should have told you sooner, even though I just made up my mind like that 5 seconds before. And he was kind of upset about it. Like, what? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I don't want to go back to the Y. I'm like, hey, sorry, man. Like, we're too busy now. But the reality was that I understood he was not my ideal client anymore. And that to evolve my business, I needed to work with more people like Ann. We could still be friends, but I couldn't really be his gym. And that's a hard struggle. If you're a gym owner and you kind of realize that like the people like you are maybe not your ideal client or, maybe something else, like your best buddies aren't going to be able to show up and train at your gym because they're bad for business or whatever, like I did, that can be hard to swallow. And so it might take some time to digest this instead of just making that decision. But honestly, I was desperate enough that I knew my business had to change and Anne was telling me how to change it. So that's what I did. We're still friends, by the way. I'm still friends with that guy. The fourth question that you can ask your Eagle client is like, what's your biggest challenge in life outside the gym right now? And quite often what they'll tell you is like, here's another way that you can help me. So with this earlier couple that I was talking to, they're like, well, Chris, we love the gym. We go straight back to work. So that means that we have to stop and pick up lunch on the way to work. And like, there's nothing really healthy around. And so there's some things that I could do. I could give them like a healthy options guide, right? I could go through all the 5 drive-throughs between my gym and their workplace and say like, here's what I would pick at each one. That's easy. I could give them like a grocery shopping list or like, here's some easy meals that you can order or make in advance to take to work with you. Here's the fridge in my gym where you can put those meals so they're ready to go. I could even have like meal prep. I could have the cafe in this building, make them lunch and have it ready so that they walk out of my gym into the cafe, pick up their lunch, go straight to the car. Like I could set all that up for them. They're telling me how to solve their next biggest problem. And here's a tip. If they have that problem, most of your Eagle clients probably have the same problem. So the 4 questions are, what brought you to my gym in the first place? What else did you try before you found my gym? What should I do if I want to get more people in my gym just like you? Sometimes this will actually just spur them to say, oh, my friend Jane should join. And 4th, what's the biggest challenge in life outside my gym? Now, I can give you all these questions on a sheet. That's no problem. Here they are, and I'll just pop it into gymownersunited.com. But you should really practice this. It's the reps that make you good at it. So you can screenshot if you want to here, but you don't have to. Practice this on your spouse, practice this on your coaches, but just take people out and have sincere conversations for them. And that will actually help you get more ego clients. Now, the key, and I made a spot for this on that worksheet, is like, um, what action are you going to take as a result of this? So it's handy to know, right? But what are you going to do? The first time I ever did this with my clients, I found out that my website was way off base. My website was talking about like the sport of fitness back then. And my clients were like, we care about coming in, having 1 hour of our day where we don't have to think about all the other crap at the office. We don't have to think about our family's needs. You tell us exactly what to do. It's fun, and all my friends are there. And I immediately changed my website and boom, solved my biggest marketing problem, which I thought was my biggest marketing asset. This is going to be uh, a revelation to you. Your ego clients are going to tell you how to get more people like them. You might even start getting more people like them. But more than anything else, it's still important to have these conversations. So, two things I want you to take away from this. Number one, have the conversations. When I finished talking to this couple, they were like, "Is that it? Oh man, we thought you were going to ask us for our email address of all our friends, and we thought that you were going to do a video of us. It's amazing. Like, thanks for having a coffee with us, right? Thanks for being a human." The second most important part of this exercise is that you take some action. You're not just here to learn and gather information and opinions. It's not a survey. You have to leave the conversation, go out and do something. Like, I changed my website. I went out, I immediately started changing my clientele, and then going back to these people and asking them for referrals later. Hope this helps. I'm Chris Cooper, and we make these little tools, these videos to help you grow your gym. And we also host a free discussion called gymownersunited.com with 10,000 gym owners in the world. You can join that group for free. You'll see these videos. You'll get the worksheets. Sometimes we'll even have a conversation with me in there just so that you can grow your gym, because that's how you serve our species more. Thanks for doing it.